Habits are hard to break, especially if you don't know what you're doing and doing with them. Today we have attending physician and clinical associate professor of medicine at NYU School of Medicine, Dr. Roshini Raj, here to help us break those habits to live happier life. Good morning, Dr. Raj. And I tell you what, some of us have some habits we don't want to talk about, that's for sure.
That's right. Good morning. Well, we do all have some habits that we should break, but the interesting thing is there are a lot of habits that we're doing on a routine basis every day that we don't even realize are not good for us. And that's what I kind of want to focus on today, is making people aware of some of those small changes you can make to have a really big impact on your health.
Okay, now speaking of that, where do we start on this? Is it just identifying the bad habits we have? Where do we start on this?
Yeah, I think awareness and identifying them is the first step. And one of the most basic things that we do, obviously, every day is breathing. So the average person takes about 20,000 breaths a day. And we don't often focus on our breathing unless maybe we're short of breath for some reason. What we should be focusing on is what we're breathing in, what we're taking into our lungs and into our body, and the quality of that air. There's one survey that showed 50% of respondents thought outdoor air pollution was worse than indoor air pollution. But the reality is, according to the EPA, in many cases, the indoor air pollutant levels are 2 to 5 times higher than the outdoor air pollution. Since we spend so much time in our home, we really want to make every breath count and make sure what we're breathing is actually good for our body. So that's why I'm excited to team up with Filtrete today. Their healthy living filters pull in and trap those unwanted air particles, things like bacteria, viruses, dust, or pollen, other allergens, and they allow the cleaner air to flow through. And you also have to remember, another habit that you want to actually get into is, if you're using those filters, you want to replace them every 3 months and check them every month to make sure that they're still working and they're clean.
You know, we started this interview, and if Filtrete was not behind you, that was going to be my first question. Was, you know, I think the best way that we can adapt a little bit more and get away from bad habits inside is to have our air filtered and clean. And I tell you what a great company to be working with as well.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things we just take for granted, the air around us, and we really do need to be paying attention to that. You know, air quality and air pollution is one of the top 5 public health environmental threats, according to the EPA. So it's something a lot of us don't think about on a daily basis, but we probably should be.
And you know, 25, 30 years ago, we had those things on the TV that you had to get up and turn the knob, and now we've got thousands of channels that are available to us. Watching TV and lounging around the house, you know, when it comes to that, how healthy can we stay?
Well, there's so many studies, and almost every week there's another study looking at the health dangers from sitting for prolonged periods of time, from not moving around. And this probably has to do with the pooling of blood and the lack of circulation when you're just sitting there watching TV. So you definitely want to take breaks often from doing that. And now we have actually a good form of technology are some of these fitness trackers that people use. You can actually set a reminder to tell you to move every 30 minutes, every 45 minutes, because sometimes we do need a reminder to do that. We get engrossed into one TV show after another. You definitely want to take breaks from technology, get your body moving. Our bodies were designed to be moving a lot of the day, not sitting down.
The old saying, Dr. Raj, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. Thank you so much for joining us today from New York City.
Thank you, Tom. Take care.
And we've got more after the break, so stay with us.